let me just start though by telling you a little bit about me, Diana Harvey. I have been in the industry for like ever. So we're just going to say since I was a child. I got into the industry because as a child, my parents were constantly getting phone calls about their house being foreclosed upon, and I needed to know what the heck was going on. Why did they have all these issues? Why did they have trouble buying a house after that? And made no sense to me, so I was looking to find out myself. So I got into the mortgage business to find out what all of this was about. So that's a little bit of my story. I want to turn it over to Troy so he can tell you a little bit about his. Troy, introduce yourself and tell us about you.
Thank you very much. So I was also in the mortgage industry for a very long time, and then in 2008, the crash occurred, and I got out of this business and went into the credit industry and found that there was a ton of need for this information. So our goal today is to make sure that no one goes through the stresses and the heartaches of not being able to be a homeowner. So that's our business in a nutshell.
Let's just talk about what makes up a credit score. Do you want to just cover this a minute?
Sure. So if you look on your screen here, it talks about the importance and how the algorithms are taken or used, if you will. So 30% of your credit scoring is based upon amounts owed. So that means if I have a credit limit of $10,000 and I owe $10,000, with the way the algorithm is set up, 30% of my credit score is going to be impacted by that in a negative way. In fact, if I exceed my credit limit by $1, it can cost me as much as 100 points, and that is a lot of points. So we never want to exceed our balances, when in fact what we really want to do is keep our balances under 30% is the typical number, but for the best credit score, the number needs to be 8% or less, but not 0. If I actually pay all of my debts off to a 0 balance, I lose 3 points that are available in the credit algorithms. The next item is payment history. Obviously, we want to pay all of our debts on time. If we don't, that's going to affect 35% of our credit scoring, which is a major portion and the largest portion, if you will. That includes things like collections. If you have a collection, that will absolutely destroy your credit scores. Then you'll see to the right, it says 10% of new credit. New credit is something that I have just received within the last 12 months. That is considered new credit. And then length of history is 15% of the algorithm. The longer, the better. So a good number or a good range is 7.5 years of credit history. And then credit mix, and people get confused by this, so I want to explain. Credit mix is having installment loans and revolving accounts. So a revolving account would be a credit card, something that doesn't end. And an installment loan means that it's closed-ended. So if I purchase a car, it's a 7-year term, that would be considered an installment loan. If I purchase a mortgage, that's an installment loan. That credit mix, we want to have 3 revolving accounts and at least 2 installment loans.